Welcome to qualifying here in Mexico, where the cars will be going out on track very shortly and battling it out to secure pole for tomorrow's Grand Prix. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily, it's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way, however. Track position or unexpected yellow flags, for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
So, welcome back to IndyCar Unassisted. I'm here today in Mexico. The F1 Series, our online championship, is racing in Mexico this week. I'd advise go checking out one of their channels. Somebody else's channel, one of their channels. That's very vague. But I, unfortunately, due to circumstances, am no longer able to make the races in the league. So the college semester just started up, so I've started doing classes, and so that means that now Monday afternoon, which is the record day, is now a work day, so that way I have money to actually pay for school, which is really unfortunate, so I'm going to miss out on the end of the races. So Colonel RPG is probably going to take my spot on the podium to end the season. He'll get third in the championship. And I'm figuring that, I'll do a state of the series, kind of a recap of how I think my season went, as well as try and drive this car fast in a straight line around a track that I'm not very comfortable at, and without any assists, so I'll be making plenty of mistakes. So already a slight lockup. So I've done a no assist race in the old Ferrari, back for Italy when my recording corrupted. I missed my braking zone. Let's just pretend that that's how you're supposed to do this section. But those cars were much slower and much more grippy, where I didn't really have any problems. Whereas this, I struggled quite a bit in practice. So I did a bunch of time trial laps. Yep, did a bunch of time trial laps. I was able to get down to a 1:14. I missed my braking zone again. Ah, crap. My assisted practice time was a 14:2, which was the fastest of anybody's. Okay, this is great. Starting from the back of the field. Fastest of anybody. I think Colonel was second. I don't think Georgian actually put in a time. Who cares? Yeah, Warner corner cutting. Yeah, you don't say. So, but then my unassisted time drops down to a 15:8, which puts me, just behind Whippica, my teammate. So I mean, I'm not terrible, but I also was sitting there and just focused on racing.
But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are Hamilton, Bottas, and Max Verstappen. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
So, my fastest unassisted time is still faster than Hamilton, but I set the AI down. It's only on Expert, I think, because I know that I'm going to be making plenty of mistakes today, so. But yeah, I guess get into the race, and I'll just try and be as cautious as I can into turn one, though David Croft or Anthony Davis is probably about to start talking right about now. Okay, I missed. Now. There we go. Now you can listen.
Welcome along then to the final moments of peace before a grid full of the world's fastest racing cars fire into life and charge down towards the scuffle of turn one.
Is that all you had to say? Oh, nope, there's not.
2.6 mile lap here in Mexico with incredible top speeds of around 220 miles per hour and an average lap speed of 121 miles per hour. 17 corners here, 10 to the right and 7 to the left, with a spectacular view for the sellout crowd from the technical stadium section in the final sector. A tough race in store then for our drivers today, so tell me, Anthony Davidson, what will you be looking out for as the cars make their way down into turn 1?
Well, first of all, let's hope that everyone's well behaved and we can have a nice incident-free start. That initial release is going to be the most interesting thing. The clean side of the grid will be better rubbered in, so keep an eye out for cars over there potentially making their way through.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. An immense lap from
That I
Lewis
don't think we need to see.
Hamilton
Oh,
yesterday
which
puts him
button
in pole
is
position,
fast forward?
and
Which
it's
one?
about
Where is button
Bottas
18?
who completes the front row.
That one? There we go. I thought I'd learned those buttons.
Keep your eyes
Apparently I
open
haven't.
on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
Yeah, I was supposed to put park frame, so I'll stick with increased top speed. Yeah, so I'll probably just focus through the first few turns, and then I'll try and remember what I've been trying to get at. I should probably put the clutch in, though. The lights are out. And in typical me fashion, I've burnt off all of the rear tires already. That's great. So I guess I've got enough space I can talk about. Trying to learn this track for me is not good because a lot of the braking markers, like those ones, are on the left-hand side. But come on. I tend to prefer them being on the side of wherever I am on the track. So like going down into this next left-hander, they're on my right-hand side, which is what I can easily see. You're not giving me much room, Claire. But some of them are on the off side, and so I'm looking across the track, and that I did not like. But now you get to see that I don't actually have any driving talent. I rely so heavily on the assists in the F1 series to kind of drag me along, and that's why I've been able to do what I can in that series. Okay, well, the cars got tangled up. That's my fault. I'll probably get a penalty. Oh, no, just a warning. That's good. This section has actually, I've been faster through here without assists, which is strange to me. May have just taken out my pylon, though. Alright. Yeah, so season recap. I started off the season on my controller. It's a Logitech F4310, something along those lines. It's a cheap Logitech controller. It was the first controller I ever bought, and it's because it was literally the cheapest one I could find at Best Buy. And so when we started doing this series, I had been thinking about getting a Logitech G27, and then after the first couple of races, seeing the difference between me and the top drivers, I was like, okay, I definitely need to get a racing wheel. And honestly, that has been one of the best purchases of my year last year. I use it for any racing game that I play now, and it's so much fun. A lot of people trash it for playing Wreckfest. I actually prefer it in Wreckfest. I use my H-pattern shifter in that, and so it's great. I use it a lot for BeamNG, which is just a really fun game in general. Yeah, so I'll use it for anything that will let me. I wanted to use it in Rocket League, but unfortunately Rocket League doesn't accept wheel inputs. So, okay, car going a straight line. Thank you. Yeah, so then once I finally got it, I think my first race with it was China. And I'm sorry, Colonel, again, but that race was not a good race. It was a bad day. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe this $250 wasn't worth it. And then we came around to Baku, and I had so much fun racing at Baku. I wish that if we started the season over or did another season, I think I'd have a really good shot there. Because I think I started to find my groove there. And then after Baku, I think, is Catalonia, where I was able to get my first podium, which I was very happy with. I didn't think that that was going to be happening at all. And then after that, things started going my way. Monaco did not. I got a little bit blocked on one of the... You didn't give me very much room at all there, Hartley. You filthy Brit. That was actually a good overtake for me, I think. Yeah, Monaco, I think that could have been my first win of the season, but I got held up by a Kenia going through Rascass. And so Georgian was able to make the overcut work. And then after that, I was pushing too hard, wore out my tires, and spun. Sort of like I did at USA last week. The tires were just gone from me. But yeah, then after that, to go into Montreal and to win it, and courtesy of Codemasters screwing over Jem and putting him on the dry tires in the wet. But, you know what, it worked out, and then I won a few more races throughout the year, so I think it started in Belgium, and then went through Montreal and Singapore with really good results. Wins, I guess, yeah, you could say really good result, but with wins, which was good. I was disappointed with my Marisha. I feel like I could have been a lot better there. This is not good. It's a line through here. I feel like I could have done a lot better in Russia. But that was, again, a track that I had never driven. It's sort of like, oh, there's a clump of cars. Okay, yep. Hi, Alonso. 2-second time penalty for collision. That was the lightest collision I've had, too. I don't think that one should be a penalty. Oh, and that's going to seal it. Alright, and this is why I don't have damage on. Yeah. So I've had a few bad races this year. Germany and Hungary are just ones not to be mentioned.
This is your final lap of the race.
Which is sad, because I thought that those were places I could do well. And I really didn't. And then, yeah, so overall, I'm proud of how my season went near the end. I think once I got the wheel, I'm glad that I had the pace to keep up with Tim, and to be able to beat Georgian on pace in some of those races was just, it was really good. So I don't think, as much as I'm done with the multiplayer season, which is sad because I know some of the guys are annoyed with Codemasters and how their netcoding goes. I was having a lot of fun racing with some of those guys. Colonel RPG and I had such a great rivalry going on in the Discord before we would start races, him and I talking a lot of trash and whatever. So I really enjoyed that. But so while the multiplayer season might be done, I believe I'm going to be starting. I'm still trying to decide if I want to do unassisted or not, because this has been torture to me. But I'll be starting a single-player campaign. I don't know who I'm going to pick as my starter team yet, but oh, I ran out of fuel. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, so I'll be starting a single-player season, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's good, and hopefully that can take us right up to the release of F1 2019, which hopefully has a co-op championship, which I think would be fun, like a co-op campaign mode. But no, thanks for watching this video. I'll put up the stats for what happened in the Mexico race for the guys. Commander Sealand, coming off of his first podium, goes right back at it and gets his first win, which was awesome for me to see. Whippica sent me the screenshots of the end, and he got third. He got his first podium, and Georgian ended up fourth, which is a little strange. But Tim is also, some circumstances have changed, and so he's also done with the F1 online season. So congrats, Georgian, for the championship, for the World Championship win, and congrats to Georgian and Flip and Racing Point Force India for their Constructors Championship. I wish that I had started with the wheel, because I feel like maybe I could have fought for the championship, but it was, no, it's good.
consistency, good battles,
Yeah, nobody
driving,
cares.
he can be pleased with
So,
his performance.
yeah, I think we'll end this video here. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you if you so choose to be inclined to watch the single-player series.